Hello everybody, my name is Zamouie, and this is going to be a quick tutorial for the Ants Underground Kingdom. I am an officer on server 42 in a clan called NRN. I have previous background on myself. About 2 years ago I joined up with this group. We played a game called Age of Z, which is about 90% the same game as this. I was an officer there, the clan leader for a significant amount of time. I had some good accomplishments there, and then I was an officer again, and we were on server 52 back on that game. So first thing we're going to go over here is our special ants. We have these orange ones that are basically your legendaries, your top tier officers. These are the ones you're going to want to invest all your resources into. There's going to be possibly some purples that you're going to want to invest into as well, just to get some balance and to fill out your slots. And then there might be some blues that are situational you might want for specific bonuses or to switch them around. Looking at these guys, here's your experience. I believe the cap is around 50. I know this one requires level 50, so you're going to be able to at least get these ants to level 50. These skills will unlock as you level up your ant. Your ant is leveled up from both usage and from this plus sign. It would let you use your kiwi, honeydew, melon. I don't have any. I already jacked this guy up. And then you have your skills here. So if you want to upgrade your skills, you use the spores. And it'll say here I have 143, needs 45. And it will tell you what it's going to do. It's going to give me a 4% boost. 121% upgrade preview, 125%. These ants are aligned with your army, so if we go to our layouts here, so for example, I don't have a army that has it yet, it's currently researching, but this ant here, all the bonuses it's going to give is going to be for this row here. You can get another ant, it's going to give a bonus to this row here. Looking at your officer ants, you're going to see they have different tags, so this one's universally used. He's ranged, meaning he's good in the middle and back line. That's where he's going to be most effective. These skills do various things. The first one on almost every ant that I've seen so far has been command, which means you can have more units in that line. So if we go back to the line here, excuse me, we will see that this line has a capacity of 14,700 units, while these two are 6,600. All right, we're going to go quickly to look at the inventory. One of the things I recommend for all players of these type of games is to leave as much as you can in your inventory. Don't start going, oh my gosh, I'm going to unlock all my meat. The reason for doing that is when you go to upgrade, it'll prompt you to spend additional resources. You can go in your inventory and then unlock these items. This will prevent you from losing your resources when you're attacked by other players. This is basically your bank, so keep stuff in your bank. You have your speed ups. I don't generally recommend using these until you're much higher level. Do not use them in the early game. Personally, I like to use the speed ups before I go to bed. That way I can knock everything out to zero, get all my workers back, get my barracks emptied out, and then I can restart things before I go to sleep. Various buffs. So this is your standard teleport. Go anywhere you feel like going. And this will take you back home. Peace shield. And then I want to look in the store and show you some other items here. We also have your boosts. So this will, for example, like in Age of Z, this will cut your speed by 50%. So if it's going to say it's going to take 6 minutes to attack, pop one of these. It's now going to take 3 minutes to attack. Pop 5 of these, and you're screaming across the map. Recall is used for yourself. Advanced recall. This one should be for groups. Yep, exactly. These are for your building upgrades for your tactical buildings. So it's going to be like your wall and your defensive structure, stuff like that. We'll go over the buildings here in a second. Various buffs. Peace shields prevent you from being attacked. When you scout or when you attack another player, that will lift your peace shield. So we used to use these all the time for some crazy maneuvers to just absolutely destroy people. And we are gonna destroy people in this game too. I don't think these people have any clue what's coming. You get your attack bonuses. This is your anti-scout. That's basically fog of war. So you don't allow them to scout you, but you can still attack and scout freely. Bluff is kind of cool. This is new. I haven't seen this. Double your troops when scouted. So, honestly, if it's a good player and they know your power level, they'll probably be able to call your bluff. Standard resource payments. Do not buy resources in general from the stores. We'll have to see how this game progresses, but normally there's sales where you're going to be able to spend your diamonds and get a much better bang for the buck. Pretty straightforward stuff. Speed ups, rename, Glimmer Relief is used for your special barracks upgrade. Okay. let's go ahead and take a look at the world map before we go into the buildings. World map is almost identical to Age of Z for my Age of Z veterans. A lot of games are like this. You're going to have your fleets over here. This is what they're up to. These ones I believe are called echelons. This is a really great hotkey to be able to see what your units are up to. So collecting, marching. And let's break this down really quick. This is your first fleet. This is your pro unit. Pro stands for your profession. So in this case, I'm a cultivator at the moment. You're going to have 61,000 battle power with this. 61,000 battle power does not mean that you beat monsters with 61,000 battle power themselves. Those monsters are going to have their own tier, and it's also going to be dependent on how your fleet is laid out. So for example, with some fleets, I just threw in units just to be able to gather. These guys will not be fighting and doing combat. This right here is your unit capacity. I am not maxed out on how many units I can have in this fleet. This is your stamina. Now, different in this game than other games, your stamina will be used to be able to both attack players and gather resources. It's a little bit different, big time. This is also used, it's about 10 per to go kill out the creatures on the map. It is very time consuming though to use up the stamina, so I'm not sure how the meta is going to be, how this game is going to play out, because if it's taking 15 minutes round trip, you know, in other games, you're able to get out there, knock out units 20, 40 seconds, and you could burn through your gas in 10 minutes on like 5-6 fleets. This right here is your load capacity, so that means if I send these guys out to gather resources, they can carry 586.7k. Just an example here, front line, middle line, back line. Ranged unit, these are your warrior clobberers, so I'm not sure if the meta is going to be these guys need to be in the front line or the back line, or the middle line. I think this is going to end up being correct. Logically, it makes sense, but I haven't gotten all the officer ants unlocked to know how it's going to best play out, because there are officers, legendary ants, that specialize in boosting these guys, and these guys are designed to kill warriors. Now, they're both melee, I believe, so I'm going to be interested to see how that turns out. Okay. Scouting uses food in this game, so if I could find a sucker, here's a sucker. Quick scout, you're going to see it's going to cost me 525 food, 17 seconds, and that's going to be there and back, so 34-second round trip. Your fleet will not be available. It doesn't particularly use any one of your fleets, it just kind of takes a placeholder of one of your three. And you can see the food level right here, 327k, so scouting this guy is not a big deal. We'll give him a quick scout. My recon tower, my sentinel tree, whatever it's called, is not very high level yet, so I don't think we're going to get too much information. You have your standard selector. What's nice about this is they even give you specific resources you can get. So food, plant, wet soil, sand, honeydew, and then the lizards give nice little bonuses for a group. Now let's check out this scout report. I can see what he has here, but I don't see any information about units. That means they're all dead and gone because he's been hit so many times because he's so close, or I just don't have the right upgrades. Okay. Fighting players in this game will be very similar to other ones. You'll be able to go invade. Let's see, this is actually a decent one. We're going to hit refill. This is going to put any units that are missing that you have available back into the pool. So we're going to see this jump up. 16, 612, 17, 84. Okay, power jumped up too. So we're going to do a 1-minute march. We're going to send that guy off, and we'll just wait for the bell report. We're not going to actually watch him and what he's doing. All right. We'll look at the bell report. Let's do a quick overview of the buildings. So you go to build for all your buildings here. These are for all your different resources. They're all used for different things. Meat's used a lot for example, building troops. Water's used for all kinds of different various uses. There's really a lot of different things that they are used for. So with those resources, you can see in the top that there's different resources and different colors on 3 of these bars. The red here is going to mean that it's low. The blue means it's kind of in the medium area. And then the green, and this is based on your max capacity. So 529,000, what's it called, wet soil, is actually not a bad number to have. But because it's 529,000 out of a maximum capacity of 4 million, it's going to tell me I'm low on it, even though I'm fairly comfortable with that. And if you look, when I click on the wet soil, it says use items, and in my inventory I have 6.5 million. Once again, Keep your items, keep your resources in your inventory. Please do not bust open all your packs. Don't do it. What these resource depots do for you is they increase that maximum. And it actually is kind of important to level them up. And I'm going to give you 2 reasons why. One reason is because when you start to upgrade your buildings to really high levels, so take, for example, this rally center as right here. It's going to take 840,000 plant. Now, if you do not have a capacity that could support 840,000 plant, you can't even upgrade that building. All right, that's reason number 1, to be able to upgrade your buildings. Reason number 2, when you get these to level 10, you get a super version that you can start leveling up. These are your depot level 2s. Depot level 2s start off right off the bat, giving you 1 million capacity. That is huge. That is a nice bonus to have. Going back to the rally center. Each one of these rally centers is linked to one of your rallies. And what these allow you to do, if we go to the details here, it's going to increase your troop size. So this is how many units by default. This is not including any legendary ants that you might be equipping to your echelon. This will allow you to carry more and more units. And as we know from A to Z, unit count in your army is king. That and tech. There's a couple things. You got your officers, boosting them is going to be huge for your attack bonus, your technology, and then your unit size. But early game and throughout, overall, the more units you can throw out, the better. It's going to help you clear out monsters and everything. I mentioned earlier about buying the resources for the technical buildings, the defensive buildings. So here's an example of them. We got the toxic fungi here. This will give you a bonus to the attack value of your defenders. So when a unit army attacks you, every level, it's going to give you more attack to each one of those units. That looks like it's going to be a pretty big bonus. Entrance as well. It has a attack bonus and defense. I don't know what the durability is going to do yet in this game. Speculative, maybe it removes these bonuses. And I believe the last one is the troop tunnel. Okay, so troop tunnel is going to be used for PvP as well. Possibly used for, I think it's also used for lizards. I've seen it used for lizards. So anytime you're going to rally and have a group, you're going to need this to be leveled up to be able to have more people join you. Now, if we go to upgrading this, let's see if this one requires a special unit resource. Yes, it does. Refined sand. So these resources are not impossible to come by, but they're not common. So, for example, I have enough rock now. I can get this bad boy upgraded. And I just got a bunch of glittery leaf from the recent event, which will allow me to upgrade this one as well. I want to give you guys a quick build order for what are the most important buildings. If you're not sure what to do, what you constantly pop up, pump up, etc. Number 1 is your queen. Your queen gives you access to everything. It allows you to get out there and get all your units moving. It allows you to build more advanced structures. It allows you to unlock more of your hive to be able to get access to new resource tiles. So, for example, I have a group of wet soil here that comes with the standard 4 that you can lay out. And then, over here, I've unlocked a second wet soil grouping. Now, that wet soil grouping, I'm going to need level 15 to get the next one. So this is very similar, once again, to A to Z, whereas you level up your main hall, aka your queen, you're going to get new blocks to be able to get more buildings, more resource generators. And let's go ahead and get a couple of these bad boys upgrading while we're just sitting here. That's level 7, that's pretty low. I'm very new to this game, I've only played, it's like my 3rd day playing it. But like I said, 90% the same as A to Z, so I am not really confused. We'll go with the worker ants really quick. So, 7 workers. Clicking on this hammer and wrench icon, you're going to see what they're all up to. Unfortunately, one feature I don't have here that I'd like to see is be able to click on them to see where exactly they are. So this is a level 9 sand depot. I only have one grouping of sand depots luckily right now, so it's not going to be confusing where they're at. I'm going to be able to go over. I was wrong. And that's why I want to be able to click on it. So I have more sand. I don't even know where this unit is. Oh, sand depot, excuse me. Okay. So Sand Depot is going to be this bad boy right here. You'll see he's sitting here, special little ant, and he's got a little hammer icon, so it's a quick way as well to see what they're up to. Another one over here working on my cocoons. One working on my construction center. All right. I love the little icons they have for quick access. For example, clicking on this one here that looks like a DNA helix, you have access to all of your technologies. I have rapid product maxed out. I don't recommend it. Don't copy me on that one. I would say your most important one's probably your marches, and then maybe your ants after that. Basic combat looks like it's going to be strong. Hill development's passive resource generation, and as we know from these type of games, passive resource generation is icing on top of the cake, but you need to get your cake too. I'll play along a little bit as we're doing this, so if I click around, forgive me. All right, let's hop into the buildings. Woodlouse, this is your meat. Very straightforward. Spring gives you water. Water is especially useful for the ladybug, who's not currently available, but when she offers to be able to trade out water here is normally used for that, along with some other upgrades and for the ants. So for example, your feeding ground will be supplied by water. You can see the timers here. This is how much is in my bank or my depots, and this is how much time is left on the clock. This is the current amount, so both are at 274.4K. I keep them symmetrical. So if I need to refill this, I know how much I have in each of those groups. See, right there and right there. Those numbers match. All the rest of the basic resources, we have plant, various uses for that. Wet soil, which that along with sand are both ones I struggled with in the early game. You know, around level 10, maybe 8, 10 to 12, around that area. You're going to run out of those constantly. Move over to the leaf cutters. Quick side note, guys. Use the standard layout. If you're not using the standard layout, this will be very difficult to explain. Use the standard layout by going to the queen, click layout. You say use it, apply it. It'll be gone. Yep. Okay. And I do this every time I put down buildings. That way you're able to just reorient everything, so you could just throw down a bunch of crap anywhere and then just use the standard layout. It'll put it all together. Leaf cutters are used to produce fungus. You do not have to keep them supplied at all times. It'll depend on where your fungus is at. Now, fungus is important. We're going to go look at the feeding ground of the fungus really quick. So if we look at what fungus does, this is our supply, our depot maximum, how much we're producing, and how much we're losing. You will use fungus occasionally for some items, upgrades, etc. However, if you run out of fungus, if you start going down, it's going to impact your supply efficiency. So let's click this exclamation point right here. All of our productions, 100%. No issues because we're keeping the spice flowing. We also keep the spice flowing with the feeding grounds. Now, the feeding grounds, unlike the efficiency from the fungus, the feeding grounds will impact your ants. If you don't have ants, you don't get passive resource generation. So keep these fed. Fungus is kind of important. You also have a native fungi. This just does a straight 22.5 thousand fungus per hour on top of your leaf eaters, who have to be given plant to feed them. And then if you have bought the pass, which is called the light contract, the light contract allows you these two special buildings. So we have the supreme native fungi, more fungus, and I'm not even sure if feeding the leaf cutter's ant is efficient for getting the fungus, but right now I'm not having any issues with it. The second special building you get is the construction center. This is unique to the light pass, and again, if the light pass is not active, if you do the 30 days and then you're done, these buildings will temporarily deactivate. One thing I don't like about this is that you have to upgrade these. So you're pouring in resources for a bonus building that could be deactivated anytime. Really not a big fan of that. This will give me passive construction speed. So this should be a priority for leveling up. All right. So we talked about the queen being number one for your upgrades. We went over your basic buildings and what they're going to do for you. The last basic building here is the aphid, which gives you honeydew. So we've seen meat, water, plant, fungus, wet soil, sand, honeydew. Those are all your resources right there. Basic resource buildings covered, all surrounding the queen. Queen is the most important building upgrade. Second one after that is going to be your barracks, or racks for short. Barracks give you access to your units. There's only 3 so far in this game. I haven't got a second set yet. I don't know if there will be. Let's check that. Like I said, I've only been playing for a few days, so we're going to be learning this. Alright, I'm seeing 1 for 1. Not seeing any of their options. So I don't think there's a whole lot more we could do here, guys. I can build a new sand, though. Oh, sand depot, too. Beautiful. So I'll give you an example here. I don't want to worry about where I'm placing this. So I'm just going to slap it down, put it wherever the hell I feel like it. So this is a good example of doing an upgrade right here. It says I don't have enough. I'm going to go game more. Go to my inventory. Just click on 1. Actually, that's not a good example. Right here. Perfect. So it's going to have me open as many packs, 11 out of 94. It's going to have me open as many packs as what I need to be able to get just this building upgraded. And I love that, because that means you're going to have the minimal amount sitting freely in your depots where someone else can come along, hit your city, and take those resources. So keep your resources in your bag. Again, super important. Sand Depot 2, we now have an additional 1 million, so we're at 2 million total. I believe that is correct. Let's check the sand. 3 million total. Maybe that added 2 million straight up. One of the other ones might not have. But that's good stuff. That's one of the reasons I said getting the depots up to 10 actually had a good reward from doing that. Let's reset the layout again, because I went ahead and added a new building. And you can see Sand Depot number 2 got thrown in with all the other Depot number 2s. Let's see if I can get, there we go. All the Depot 2s are right here. All right, so we covered the queen, we covered the basic resources. The next priority of what the most important buildings to upgrade. So queen's number 1. Number 2 is the rally centers. We talked about that. This one's low because I don't really have a great purpose. I actually don't have enough units to fill out all my armies, so I'm not super stressed about leveling it up. I just have those guys go out for a couple hours and bring back home like 60,000 sand. Number 3 most important building upgrade is your barracks. And the number 4 are going to be those resources you're struggling with. So honeydew is probably number 1. You're going to burn through this like crazy. Sand, also very hard to keep up on. Wet soil as well. And then I would say number 5 on the list after those, the Queen, Rally Center, Barracks, difficult to obtain resources. What last would be the depots. Number 5 would be the depots for the reasons I said earlier. Be able to build more advanced buildings and be able to get access to the Depot 2 where it just skyrockets up your capacity so you can get more passive income. If you go to sleep, you don't have to worry about the fact that half the night maybe your resources aren't growing because you're not spending them, they hit the cap, etc. All right, we talked about the ladybug and the fact you can go there to trade resources. Okay. Let's take a look at the classes really quick. So we have 3 classes that are linked to your queen. You get upgrades approximately every 3 levels from when you get the first one. You basically have your standard herbivore spec, like in Age of Z. You're going to be a farmer, get out the pitchfork and the hoe, and just start making money. Raider, which I call the carnivore spec, is much more along my lines. I started off with cultivator because of the fact it's a brand new game, and I know it takes a little bit of time to get up. Raider is going to be focused on hitting other players for their resources. They have the unique ability to be able to steal. Where is it? Maybe it's on the main one. Yes, they can plunder honeydew. I think based on the wording, that's what makes it unique. These guys aren't as good at gathering resources. These guys get penalties for attacking. Herder, I have no idea what the heck this is supposed to be. They're good at buying goods, honeydew, bonuses when defending. It sounds like a support class. I'm not sure how useful that's going to be. Okay. Game's going to walk you through placing a lot of your buildings down. Healing pools are pretty standard. Those are your hospitals. What's important about this, and if we go to... Where do we have it saved at? Show you the details really quick. It's going to tell you that if you lose basically 9,000 ants, this is just off the one pool, right? The one level 8 pool. If you lose 9,000 ants in an attack defensively, this pool will be able to supply them. If you had, for example, a supply of 5,000 and you lost 9,000, you'd be able to save 5,000, the other 4,000 would die. So there is a way to see a shortcut right here. I have a max capacity of 35,000, and I actually have 23,000 ants, which means if I were to be completely wiped to zero, all my units are at home defending my base, and somebody comes and just a bunch of guys just attack my city, my guys are fighting, and then they go to the healing pool, I can actually save all of them. It will just take time to resurrect them, and it will cost a lot of resources as well to resurrect them, but I don't permanently lose any. You only permanently lose any when you are attacking, and if you do not have the correct technology to be able to save them, because I believe in the advanced levels of these trees might be in combat. I have seen it somewhere, but it allowed 40% of your killed units to be instead basically turned to injured. So here's an example of one fight alone. Increase the proportion of dead soldiers converted to injured when invading enemy hills on your own. So this does not apply. There's a similar skill in AOZ that was called, I think, SOS, if I remember right, where when you make an offensive attack by yourself, you cannot link up with other players, all of your units that would be killed instead become injured. All right, there's various other buildings here I want to get through quickly. Mutation Pool, I don't know all the details of what this one does yet. I know one thing I'd like to level this up for is to be able to redeem more often. This allows you to, just from what I've seen so far, is to basically, when you have duplicate ants, because you're only allowed to have one copy of each ant, the rest go into a duplicate pool, you can break these down and collect spores. So if I break down a blue ant, I'll get 10 spores for that. It does cost me 46 honeydew melons. So again, there's some features of this game, there's some trade-offs that are just not super clear-cut if they're beneficial for you or not. Special barracks are for your special ants. I believe, yeah, so this is going to give you more station points to station your ants. We'll go over that in just a second. Resource factor kind of reminds me of the depot a little bit from Age of Z. This allows you just to get free resources. So you're going to get troop load, that's how much units, resources they can carry, gather efficiency, process gaining. I have no idea what 1.3 process gaining is. Resource production, 5% increase. Now when you see power on these buildings, all that power means is how much power is being committed to your BP. So 53 of my overall battle power is from just this one building. And as you level it up, okay, level 25, it's going to make overall 28,000 of your battle power, of your total battle power. What's cool about this building, you hit process every, I believe, 12 hours. Receive resources produced in 1.3. Okay, so that's what it does. When it says process gaining, this is how many hours worth of resources of your passive, normal, just production that you can sweep in and grab every 12 hours. So every 12 hours, I can get basically 1.3 hours worth of my normal production. So if you level up your production buildings, like your aphids, your leaf cutters, etc., you're going to get more out of that. Let's see, let's find the special barrack and the special nest. Okay, Specialness is one I was just thinking of that increases your special ant EXP as you're leveling up. I believe there was another use for this besides opening the eggs where you get your officers. So pop this guy open. You can see here I got a green ant. Again, and green ants aren't good. Don't level those up. Blue ants aren't good. Don't level those up. Probably just purple and orange. That's what most of us are probably going to be doing. For example, that one green ant only had 2 skills. Having him at level 50, having his skills leveled up is just a waste. I don't think I've seen a way yet to retire an ant to get your resources back. So I know I started off with a, was it black? No, there you go, black Ponerine. I did put maybe one upgrade, like literally just one item into him during the tutorial, and I don't think there's a way to get anything back. I know in A to Z you could reset and you would not get 100% back. You might get like 90-95% back, something like that. So you could reinvest into a new officer, but you wouldn't be able to just switch them back and forth because you were losing resources just a little bit each time you did it. So you would not be able to get exactly back to the same point where it was before. All right, we talked about rally centers, resource tunnel. I don't believe the resource tunnel I have access to yet. I'm pretty sure that one is later on. It's not a building I remember interacting with, so I'm not going to worry about too much. Trophy storeroom. Also don't know what that one is. I also don't know what the gophers are for. It's not good that they have stuff in the game that they don't really have. Like, just hold off on the content, guys, until it needs to be in the game. Kind of silly. Talked about the construction center. Builder Ant, Supreme Builder Ant. The Supreme Builder Ant, really quick. Game only gives you a few. Builder Ant is part of your default. That's what you're using here. Like, let me go ahead and just get another guy cooking. Get him going. Get him going. Just trying to get everything leveled up right now. That's a level 5. Let's grab that one. Help my allies. Alright. You could purchase the Builder Ant. So, for example, if I go here, I don't have the last one. See if I could just grab that really quick. Alright. Evolution Fungi, Mutation Pool. Alright. So, let's go ahead and just scan through the map really quick, cover a couple buildings. Evolution Fungi, this is where we evolve everything. This is your tech research center, whatever you want to call it. Similar to the previous games, as you get to some of the skills, they're going to say they need to have the previous ones unlocked. Sometimes you could have the first level of each unlocked, you get level 1 of that, but then to go to the next level says, well, you need to have level 2. So you kind of have to go back and forth, upgrade those a little bit. Troop camp is where you go to upgrade your troops from the previous tier to the next. Alliance Center is very handy. You could go here to see who needs help. It's one way to check to see who's online, for example, or see what people are working on if you're just curious. Upgrading it allows you to get extra people who garrison within your city. So that's how many allies can back you up. It increases the amount of time that each time someone clicks help that it gives you, and increases the total amount of times you can receive help from your allies. So, for example, you can get 10, 11, 12 people helping you out, and then as well, the added benefit is that the seconds increase as well. So that's good stuff. I'm actually planning on leveling this one up pretty soon. Let me see what the time is on that one. 2 hours, yeah. So maybe before I go to bed. Salary is just a shortcut to get to all of your quests, to get all your rewards. I mostly want to cover the buildings and basic game mechanics. I don't want to get into war stuff and all that in this type of tutorial video. We have a couple more buildings to cover. Yes. All right. So, worker ant nests are what increase your ant capacity. Ant capacity controls access to some buildings. So you'll see we got 10, 10, working on 10, working on 10. The reason for this is your cocoons increase the maximum amount of soldiers that you're able to hatch at one time. I want this as high as possible. That way, if I can have it go for like 24 hours, which is what I did in A to Z, so just once per day I built troops. That's all I did. Once you get to level 10, that's when you get the first 1% speed increase on how fast you build those units, which is why I pushed for getting level 10 on those. All right, guys. I think the last thing I want to show you is the rapid produce. That's the tech that I maxed out that I don't think is all that impressive. Let's go ahead and get a progress bar. All right. So really quick with the light contract. It's really hard to see that. Okay, you can claim numerous speed ups or resources as you wish. This is a $25 monthly pack. You go here, you can say I want speed ups, I want plants and meat, just plants, wet soil, or sand. You click the pack, you close, and then you click claim, and you can get customized resources based on what your appetite is on that day. I find this to be extremely useful. So far, I think I've gotten sand pretty much every time. Faster to build your anthill. Grammar stuff is not perfect in these games. A lot of them are made overseas. Construction center, like I was mentioning, it's a building you get from this pass that you have to invest into, and then you still have to pay for it. It's just like, oh, it's not the best deal. Native fungi does the same thing that we showed earlier, that the leaf cutters do, and the other fungi does, gives you fungus. Mass rapid, this is what I wanted to get to. Mass rapid allows you to go to your resource producing buildings. So for example, my meat here, when I click on mass rapid, it's going to list all my buildings, check marks, I hit rapid, just blows it right out, just uses up all of it. Same thing here, mass rapid, I can just use all my buildings. I did this earlier, so some of these buildings haven't recharged yet, but when you do upgrades to these buildings, it recharges or refreshes the bar. One thing you'll notice is I'm over 75% because I did do the technology. It allows me to go all the way up to 100%. So we're going to do rapid again and just grab some more resources. Because this is the first time I played this on PC on BlueStacks, it does not have the progress bar saved for all this. So there we go, we'll bring that up. Looks like there's only one that's really worth grabbing. It's only going to pull one by default as well. All the others are not checked. I believe the minimum, oh, I thought the minimum might have been 25%, but that one is, it's not even eligible. Okay. Yeah, too low, so it can't be used. We are playing as we're going, so that is the reason why. Kind of thinking and looking as we're doing this. Okay. What's on my short list to get done with my city? I've covered about as much as I want to cover in this quick tutorial, just to give you examples and show you what's going on there. One of the things I like here as well, the red means there's something to be done with it. So in this case, it wants to be refilled. And you can see very quickly from the 2 out of 3, one of your fleets, one of your echelons is not doing anything. So that's not very good. Let's see. I really want to get everything to 13. So, oh, that needs to be leveled up for sure. Leveling up the leaf cutter will increase its leaf supply, which means there's more time. You can stuff it with more leaves, so there's more time before you need to go babysit it and insert more leaves. When you do resupply your units, the 4 leaf cutters and the, I don't know, the gathering hole, I don't know what else to call it. Feeding ground. It does take 20 seconds total for those to go through. I think the only buildings I haven't covered is, I think the last one here is the Sentinel Tree. So this should be the last one. If there's any of them missed, for example, some ones I haven't unlocked, like the Trophy Storehouse, I might follow up with that. I think in a week or two, we'll probably have a pretty good idea of what's going on in this game. Sentinel Tree is your recon center from agency. This is super important for PvP. This should be, generally speaking, and I don't know about this game, but generally speaking, this, if you're going to be doing a lot of PvP, this needs to be on the top tier of your upgrades, because it gives you more and more and more and more information about your enemy, and both in terms of scouting them when you're preparing to invade, and as well when they're going to be coming back to attack you. I've been attacked once. The guy got absolutely creamed. The whole screen flashes red, and when I say it gives you more information about the invading army, you'll be able to see, for example, you know, what they're coming at you with, how strong they are, and that can help you make a decision to go in your inventory, go to your buffs, and be like, nope, I'm going to pop the bubble and avoid all the drama. All right, get another upgrade going here. Okay. So, I had a feeling this would be about half an hour. We're at 40 minutes. So I think I want to just go ahead and end this. We had a good explanation of all the buildings. You got to see a little bit how the game plays. Oh, we talked about getting that combat report. Let's take a look here. So it was successful. I killed 4, he killed 2. All right, and they didn't even kill them. I don't know what it means to be temporarily incapacitated. So it's saying here that if the unit is incapacitated, it will recover when it gets to the anthill. But in this game, attacking is a one, like it's there and back. It's not like I'm gonna go here, then go over to 7-Eleven, and I'm gonna go over to Best Buy. No, it's there and back. So I don't know what incapacitating it does. So if you go in there and he fights and he comes back, he's limping back. I don't even know why they called that out. Severely injured ants, and then killed, would be ones that just straight up die. That's durability of the city. That's not good. Durability 125 means that guy's been hit quite a few times. We did get a little bit of resources, and one of the things I explained to someone else that was getting into this game is gathering resources. All right, so in terms of how you get resources in this game, production is the worst way. It is the slowest. Gathering is normally significantly better, but still garbage. The best way to get resources in this game is to fight other players, and that is exactly what we're going to be doing. I think I'll go ahead and close this out, and so I could chat with my alliance and hang out for a little bit before I go to bed for the night. It's already past midnight. I am exhausted. I worked all day, took the kids to school, been doing all that. So for my NRN family members, guys, welcome to the clan. Thank you for joining us. Hop in the Discord. Link will be sent out in the alliance mail. The most important thing that we stress to people is that all this building, all this gathering, all 22,281 of these ants, they are meant to fight. And we are going to fight, and we are going to have glorious wars. We're going to make great experiences, stories to tell, things to remember. I mean, just for crying out loud, let me bring up the Discord really quick. And they're going to kill me for plugging this again. Actually, I don't need to bring up Discord. I have it in Windows. Let's just... There's a guy who's a big bully on our server, and we went ahead, and I went ahead and grabbed his photo by playing in BlueStacks, taking a little screen clipping of it, saving it in Windows, going in MS Paint, making him look like a little baby, because he talks like a little baby sometimes. I don't know. My experiences with him, he's okay, but I've heard he's a bit of a bully. I haven't gotten to see that side of him yet. Like I said, I'm pretty new to this game, only in a few days, and spent way too much money, because once we kind of got back in the swing of things, it's like, all right, let's get built up and get to fighting. Let's do some war stuff. All right, so NRN guys, your troops are meant to fight. Your troops are meant to die. Don't be what we called a troop hugger in NRN. Troop huggers are people who don't want to lose their little guys. Oh, I don't have enough guys to go out and gather resources. Oh, I don't have enough guys to go kill the monsters. It does not matter. Here we fight, and we fight to the end. I was saying to another guy who was asking for protection from our alliance, it's better to live one day in the life of a lion than to live an entire life as a sheep. We are fighters. We are warriors. We are going to fight, and we don't back down. We're not scared. Scruggs doesn't scare me. I'll send every unit I have at him. It's just pixels on a screen. So, love you guys. Thank you all who watched this for 43 minutes. I really appreciate it. I hope you got some information. I try to cover everything on a light level. I did not go into packs or what to buy, the events. I'm not going to go into a lot of PvP stuff, at least it's going to be shared publicly, because we have a lot of tricks from doing this stuff. There's just so many things to click on. There's a game guide here. Yeah, I don't care. Whatever. There's a game guide here that allows you to go and read stuff to. I haven't read a lick of it. This game's 90% the same as Age of Z, so I'm not even worried about it. So once again, I am Zamouie, server 42, clan NRN, no rules needed, and I am an officer currently in the clan. I've kind of been acting as the right-hand man lately since we've just been getting this up off the ground. Peace out, Nub Scouts.